So I want to start with a statement that I'm almost positive is true. I'm probably the most tech-obsessed person in this room. I'm a web designer and developer. I have the latest Apple gadget. News articles about artificial intelligence, robots, and 3D printers are like catnip to me. But I also love the outdoors. I love hiking, I love paddling, and I love camping. I grew up in a tiny town in Minnesota on the bend of the Mississippi called a town called Big Lake. I lived outside as a kid. I used to build trails through the woods, from my house to the river. I built forts. I was like a free-range kid. It's a type of child-centered lifestyle that adults today bring their hands over the loss of. I love being outside. I also love building things as a kid. This is me at 13, and by this time we moved to Richmond. And here, this picture, I'm working on, I think, a rocket launcher for something. I don't know. It's pretty cool. One of the cool projects when I was 13, might be illegal today, but I built a telephone bug, that you plug into the wall, and what it would do, it would transmit a telephone call to FM radio. So I sold a bunch of those to middle school students, mostly boys, and they loved it. It was crazy. So I didn't get in trouble, so don't worry. But technology and being outside, those are my two passions as a kid, and they still are today. Not quite 4 years ago, I was sitting on the couch looking at my house on Google Street View. And who knows how the brain works, but I started thinking, how can I combine those two passions, technology and the outdoors? And an idea started to form. What if instead of separating us from the natural world, it could be a gateway to it? What if these devices could be, instead of a barrier to appreciation for nature, could act as an enticement to go experience the real thing? So let me offer you some background. This is my daughter, Piper, in Shenandoah National Park. We go up there all the time just to hike around. She's playing a waterfall right there, and she's having a great time. We see big wildlife, turkeys, deer, an occasional bear. And as a father of a 4-year-old seeing a bear, it's pretty crazy, pretty scary. And she loves it, of course. So I was blown away by something I saw in the news recently. Morgan Spurlock has a show called Inside Man. And on a recent episode, he reported that the number of visitors, kids under 15 visiting national parks in the past 10 years has been cut in half. So that's 50% decrease of 15-year-olds and under 15 visiting national parks in a decade. And that's when an all-time visitation is an all-time high. So I'm like, what's going on here, right? So why are kids and their families and frankly, their parents abandoning these experiences here, having a great time outside? What are they doing with their time instead? So if everyone in the audience took a moment to think about what we're doing with our time, I'm sure they'd come up with the same conclusion that a Yosemite Park ranger, Bob Roney, said on the program. People want modern conveniences, he said. Young people are more city-oriented and less wildlands-oriented. So kids are doing this, and this. Lots of fun. My kid does that. In 2010, this is 5 years ago, keep in mind, the Kaiser Family Foundation found that kids 8 to 18 are spending 53 hours a week on media use. So that's 53 hours a week. So basically, you're looking at this kid's, full-time job, okay? So generally speaking, we're healthier and happier when we do less of this and more of this. There you go. Fishing outside. But we're heading the other way, and we spend more time on devices and screens. We spent less time in the natural world. And as we know, fewer and fewer kids are visiting national parks because the parents aren't taking them. And the parents aren't taking them because kids are saying, hey, Dad, I have a full-time job here, playing on my devices. There it is again. It's a great stock photograph. So 5 months after that couch epiphany of mine, two partners and I started terrain360.com. It's a website that maps trails and waterways with panoramic images. Think Google Street View for the natural world. So here are a couple examples, and I wanted to point out. So this is a screen capture from the website. This is Beehive Trail in Acadia National Park. I'll let you take a look at it for a second. I have 5 of these, so it's going to be a fun journey. And this is Angel's Landing in Zion National Park. And this is a screen capture. I was just capturing myself clicking through the website, so I'm not actually controlling it right now. You see the quality is amazing. Then we're going to go to the next. This is Bryce Canyon National Park. And then, of course, it jumps. So this is the Appalachian Trail on an overlook in Shenandoah National Park, Bear Fence Mountain. And this is the Narrows in Zion National Park. So you can see this is awesome. It's a huge passion of mine to make this happen. So this summer, we partnered with the James River Association to build this is Balcony Falls. A new partner and I mapped the entire length of the James River, 343 miles, from Iron Gate, where the confluence of the Cowpasture and Jackson Rivers start, to Norfolk. And what a crazy journey that was. And we mapped it with, I want to go this boat right here, and you can see that's me. I built a boat. In the middle, there's a telescoping pole that this camera array is mounted on top, and this allows us to take an instantaneous panoramic image at the click of a button. And it's all automated now. Now a computer controls the camera timing. But as you can see, this boat gets a lot of attention on the water. It's pretty cool looking. So there's me hanging out on the boat. So, go back to the Balcony Falls. So this is McCaffrey Knob. So this boat is a mapping vehicle in the same way that Google Street View cars are mapping vehicles. And with it and the 600,000 panoramic images we took, I created the first surface-level image map of an entire river anywhere in the world. So it's funny, before the project started, of course, that's the wrong slide, but you get the idea. Before the project started this past June, a newspaper reporter asked my partner, Andy Thompson, he said, "Are we worried that people would see it online and not want to go experience it in person?" So I say, you can see here, who wouldn't want to go there just by seeing it here? It looks awesome, but again, look at this. It inspires me to go to these locations. So maybe you've heard of the White House's Every Kid in a Park plan. Starting next year, all fourth graders and their families will be given free admission to every national park in the entire country. I think it's a bold plan. I think it's great. And we have a similarly ambitious goal at Terrain 360. We intend to map all major trails at every national park in the entire country. We're not going to stop there. We want to bring these tours to the Mississippi, the Colorado, the Hudson, and we want to do all the major rivers. So we're really excited. We're doing this because over the past 4 years, that inkling I had on my couch turned out to be true. This technology really can be a gateway to the outdoors and experiencing the outdoors. Let's assume kids and the parents aren't going to put down their devices anytime soon. So what if we brought nature to them on those devices? What if this virtual connection to a park, trail, or river was the spark needed to inspire them to get out and experience the real thing? Thank you.
Nicely done.